right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing. AJ Gotzi and Jeff Hinkle have the front row. Eric Stoy, Mark Dantuma have the second row. Austin Habel, DJ Kenner on the third row. Richie West, Kevin Reed on the fourth. Jared Heasley and William Mann Jr. rounding out the top 10. Greg McDaniel and Gerald Thanos Poole 11th and 12th. 13th is Mark Nelson, William Mann Sr. in 14th. Ian Ogden in 15th, Harley Barletta in 16th, Aaron Mason 17th, Bill Percy in 18th. Topher Baltimore up in race control. There they see them all lining up on pit road for the pace laps. Drop in the comments, let us know who you're cheering for tonight. This one is gonna get exciting. Short track racing in Iowa. Last night the truck race went caution free. Could we see it happen again here tonight? You heard AJ mentioning that pit strategy will be a big key here tonight. Tire management, especially in these Xfinity cars, is a bit tricky. One more time around, the pace car will take him. Kyle Holden comes into this week with the points lead, but is not on track tonight. That's going to allow guys to close back up. The points will get a lot closer after tonight. And if AJ Gotzi scores win number 4 on the season, well, he could easily take the points lead here tonight. Down the back straightaway they come, getting ready to go racing. Pace car will drop off. Remember, turn 1 has a big bump on, well, turns 1 and 2, right in the middle, a big bump up on the high side. That always comes into play at Iowa. Pace car is in. Here we go, racing from Iowa. Green is in the air. First lap on cold tires. The back end is always a little twitchy. These guys are going to be fighting for every inch of real estate. Richie West sends it as Austin Habel drifts up the track a little. Your DJ Kenner up on the high side. Looked like he might have had a run for a moment. 3 wide off the turn already. AJ Gotzi already has a big jump on the field. Jeff Hinkle in second. Eric Stoy in third. Richie West... Mark Dantuma in fourth. Richie West now up 2 spots into fifth. Kevin Reed up 2 spots into sixth. William Mann Jr. up 2 spots already into eighth. But look at Jared Heasley from behind. Jared definitely trying to make something happen here. AJ Gotzi already shooting out to an early lead. Hinkle just trying to keep him in sight for the moment. And a 3-car battle going on for third is Mark Dantuma and Richie West right there on Eric's back bumper. William Mann Jr. continuing his charge to the front, now up into 7th. Battling with Austin Habel. Another car on the move currently. Ian Ogden up 3 spots And a big surprise, ladies and gentlemen, DJ the Iceman Kenner has drifted back to 13th. AJ out front. Looked like we had a driver way up high. Coming out of turn 2, they definitely would have caught the bump on that one. Gerald Poole starting to move forward as well, up to 11th. Thanos trying to find his way to the front. Greg McDaniel, last week's winner, currently in 10th. Greg actually looking low on Austin Hable. Austin appears to be struggling just a little bit in the early going, a little loose off turn 4. All the drivers trying to stay low through 1 and 2, keep out of trouble. DJ has given up a lot of ground here early. We'll have to watch and see if he can make his way back toward the front. Ian Ogden definitely making his way forward, up 3 spots into 12th. Let's see if we can take a ride around the track with Ian as they come off of turn 4 down the front straightaway. Heading off into turn 1 and 2, trying to keep the car low. You see the track is bumpy everywhere, but there's a much bigger bump on the high side through 1 and 2 that can throw you up into the wall. Down through 3 and 4, you see a lot of side-by-side in front of him. Off turn 4, trying to run down Thanos and Austin Hable. Meanwhile, AJ out front. Eric Stoy has now made his way into 2nd. Jeff Hinkle currently in 3rd. Dan Tuma in 4th. Kevin Reed in 5th. Richie West in 6th. Richie had been charging forward. Looks like he is stalled for the moment. We'll see if he can make his way forward later. Kevin Reed in the Finelli Ironworks car really having a great run here tonight. This is one of the tracks that Kevin does tend to excel at. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey up front has his teammate Eric Stoy closing in. Hinkle now back in 3rd. You have to wonder if he's doing some of the old-fashioned Hinkle tire saving here. And look at the speeds. Despite being less than a mile, you carry a ton of speed around this track. Looks like a few drivers already have some front end damage. I think there might have been some bumping on the way to the front. Look like William Mann Jr. has a little bit of damage. And Jared Heasley now up to 7th, continuing his march forward. Kevin Reed trying to hold off Richie West and Jared Heasley. Heasley making a move up to the high side. He blocks the run up the track from Richie West, now moving up into 6th. Richie not done yet, always in the fight, giving William Mann Jr. and the rest of the group a chance to catch back up. AJ Godsey continues to lead, but Eric Stoy is just right there. However, they have pulled away quite a bit. 1 1/4 second lead over Jeff Hinkle. And look at this. Mark Dantuma now starting to look down to the inside on Hinkle. Mark sends it into turn 3, a little push up the hill mid-turn. Jeff Hinkle now back to fourth. Dan Tuma now up to third. Oh, Hinkle comes back down to the bottom in 1 and 2. And Hinkle back to third. Look at the mess behind. Richie West has gotten past Kevin Reed. Jared Heasley now up into fifth. Kevin Reed now has to deal with William Mann Jr., Greg McDaniel, and Thanos. Not to mention, Ian Ogden is back there. Ian up 5 spots already tonight. Ian Ogden now up into the top 10 after starting in 15th, and Jared Heasley in 5th after starting 9th. Those are the 2 biggest movers of the night so far. DJ Kenner finally starting to fight back just a little bit as he comes past Harley Barletta. Harley struggled in qualifying, started back in 16th, only up to 3rd. Oh, wow. It's getting a little dicey mid-pack. Mark Dantuma now in 4th, Heasley in 5th. Kevin Reed, William Mann Jr. side by side. Junior slides up the... Oh, he gets into Kevin. Kevin gets the wall but saves it. Ian Ogden slips to the bottom. He's going to pick up a position and bring Thanos with him. Meanwhile, Kevin Reed loses a lot of momentum, has a little bit of damage, but seems to be okay. And Harley Barletta now up to 12th. Austin Hable, DJ Kenner. Kenner starting to come back to life. Oh, DJ gets the wall out of turn 4. And you see Kevin Reed, he was too high, and you saw him just bounce out of turn 2 when he hits the bump. Back in 5th, Jared Heasley still up in 5th. Richie West in 6th is pulled away. William Mann Jr. in 7th. Greg McDaniel in 8th. Those two now going at it. And there you see William gets the, up on the high line, gets the bump. AJ Gotze still has the lead for the moment. Eric Stoy staying about 0.3 of a second behind. Close enough to draft, but not trying to make an attack. You see 2 distinct lines here. AJ running up top now. Eric running the middle through the turns. Jeff Hinkle in 3rd. Mark Dantuma in 4th. Actually starting to run Hinkle down a little bit. Jared Heasley in 5th, now 1.3 seconds behind Mark Dantuma and gaining on him. Mark just started losing a little bit of ground, just 1/10 of a second on Jeff Hinkle. Meanwhile, they got Richie West and Greg McDaniel and Ian Ogden. Ian now the biggest mover of the race, up 7 spots into 8th. But don't look now, Harley Barletta up 6 spots into 10th. Not exactly sure what happened to Harley in qualifying. Obviously had some problems, but once he gets into race trim, he is making his way forward. Gets under William Mann Jr., now slides up into 9th. trying to run down Ian Ogden. Ian stuck in behind Greg McDaniel and Richie West as Greg and Richie battle it out for 6th. That's allowing Jared Heasley in 5th to open up a significant gap. And here comes Harley Barletta looking under Ian Ogden, but they still have traffic ahead to deal with. And of significant note, Bill Percy starting to make his way forward in the mellow yellow car, battling Kevin Reed for 15th. And another problem will arise before too terribly much longer. AJ Gonsey and Eric Stoy will hit lap traffic. They're already about a half a lap away from catching William Mann Sr. There is Sr. right now through 1 and 2. AJ Gonsey coming off turn 4. Iowa, definitely you have to learn to navigate lap traffic here, especially the longer this thing stays green. Jeff Hinkle in 3rd, Mark Dantuma in 4th, Heasley in 5th is closing in on Dantuma. It's now right at a 2nd. Richie West, Ian Ogden continue to battle for 6th and have fallen 4.3 seconds behind. And look, it's the rest of the field. You got 6th through, 13th, 14th, right there together, still after this many laps. Ian Ogden finally clears Richie West. They tried to get 3 wide off turn 2 back behind as Harley Barletta looks low under Greg McDaniel and Richie West. No, this is not dicey at all. Any one of these drivers at the front has any kind of problem, it's going to wad up a lot of cars here. Harley Barletta gets past Greg McDaniel, now looks under Richie West. And Austin Habel trying to look to the high side on McDaniel. It looks like some of the drivers, Mark Nelson, William Mann Jr., have backed off just a little bit as it was getting really sketchy there. Yeah, I've had that same exact thought, Jason. I'm wondering about it myself. Harley Barletta clears Richie West, now sets his sights on Ian Ogden. Both drivers up 9 spots. Ian from 15th up into 6th. Harley from 16th up into 7th. AJ Gonsey, Eric Stoy still just cruising around the track, not bothered by anything. Hinkle in 3rd, 1.3 seconds back. Mark Dantuma, 1 1/4 seconds back in 4th. Jared Heasley right at 1 second behind Dantuma in 5th. Ian Ogden back in 6th, now 4 seconds back. He's cut down half a second on Heasley. Harley Barletta also gaining on Ian Ogden. Meanwhile, Richie West starting to fade a little bit. William Mann Jr. now looking to the inside. That is for 10th place. They've got Thanos and DJ Kenner side by side behind them. Mark Nelson also lurking behind all of them. Oh, Richie's too high. And Richie has 3 cars flash by him in a single turn. DJ Kenner, what a move. DJ on the high side manages to slip by several cars in a single turn. Let's see if we can get another angle on that move by the Iceman. Down through 1 and 2. Richie gets too high, hits the bump. DJ just sends it straight up the middle. Passes William Mann Jr., Thanos, and Richie West all in one move. Harley Barletta now closing in on Ian Ogden. Ian continuing to run down Jared Heasley. The gap now 3.7 seconds. A third of the way through this race, and it has been quiet so far. And for the first time tonight, AJ Gotze is starting to pull away from Eric Stoy. Hinkle in third, 1.2 seconds back. Jared Heasley in fourth, Mark Dantuma in fourth, 1.1 second back from Hinkle. Heasley 1.7 seconds back from Dantuma. And Ian Ogden continues to run down the top five with Harley Barletta not far behind, also running them down. Austin Habel has now made his way up into 8th. Greg McDaniel in 9th. And look at the Iceman. DJ Kenner drifted all the way back to 15th earlier in the race. After starting in 6th, is now back up into 10th and is starting to pick off cars. AJ's lead now 1 second over Eric. Hinkle back in third, Dantuma in fourth, Heasley still in fifth, Ian Ogden in sixth, Harley Barletta 7th. Then comes the group of cars with Austin Habel in 8th. Greg McDaniel, DJ Kenner battling it out. DJ slips by and takes 9th. Greg McDaniel back to 10th. I don't think Greg is done with DJ quite yet. Not far behind, William Mann Jr. in 11th. Mark Nelson in 12th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 13th. Richie West has fallen all the way back to 14th after a hard charge early on. Aaron Mason currently in 15th. Bill Percy is running Aaron down in 16th. Kevin Reed back in 17th. Looks like that car might have taken a little bit of damage from the earlier incident. And William Mann Sr. back in 18th. As we approach the first round of green flag pit stops, and it is possible that we'll have only one stop here tonight. AJ Gotze did talk in pre-race about pit strategy here. As you see, AJ starting to gain on some lap traffic. Eric Stoy in second, Hinkle in third, Mark Dantuma in fourth, Heasley in fifth. Ian Ogden in sixth, now has Harley Barletta almost to the back bumper. And it does look like Harley has done a great job of maintaining his tires a little bit better. You see he's got a little bit more grip, especially off of turn 4. Oh, Harley gets a little bit of the wall there. Just gave it a little kiss. Austin Habel back in 8th is about to have a big problem because DJ Kenner and Greg McDaniel have run him down. William Mann Jr. currently in 11th, Mark Nelson in 12th. Charlie Barletta changed his lineup a little bit. Seems to be paying off. He is staying right there with Ian Ogden, not pushing the issue for the moment. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey continues to click away laps. His lead 1 second over Eric Stoy, and he's starting to lap cars. He's gone past William Mann Sr. and Kevin Reed. Eric Stoy now comes by. Jeff Hinkle now approaching the lap traffic. Kevin Reed definitely off pace after the earlier incident with William Mann Jr. Oh, Kevin gets the wall. Kevin got the wall in 1 and 2. And he gets a little bit of the wall on the back straightaway. What a heartbreak for Kevin after having one of the faster cars in practice and qualifying. Nobody has been to pit road yet. I would expect a pit stop right around the halfway point, and all the drivers can make it on one stop if they can make it to halfway. Eric Stoy in second, Hinkle in third. Dan Tuma in fourth. Heasley is still holding on to fifth. Ian Ogden in sixth has opened up a little bit of a gap now on Barletta in seventh. Austin Habel in eighth now has the Iceman right to the back bumper, and DJ has pulled a gap on Greg McDaniel now. Oh, I think Habel scraped the wall off turn 4. DJ shoots to the bottom in 1 and 2. Still, he can get down there. He just cannot get around. Greg McDaniel in 10th. Mark Nelson has gotten by William Mann Jr. He is now in 11th. Junior in 12th. Thanos in 13th. Aaron Mason is now coming by Richie West for 14th. And look, Bill Percy right behind him. Meanwhile, AJ about to come into all this lap traffic. AJ's lead over Eric Stoy now almost 2.5. Caution! I do not see what brought the caution out. We're going to try and find it here. Aaron Mason and Richie West were battling it out. And had been battling it out for quite some time. Might be seeing a competition caution here. AJ Godsey heads to pit road. This will be the one stop here tonight. William Mann Jr. has an incident trying to get to pit road. Almost collects Thanos and Richie West. AJ hits his pit stall. All the drivers on pit road. Everybody starts to roll off. Now here they come. William Mann Sr. has not been to pit road yet. AJ Godsey does come off pit road with the lead. Eric Stoy in second, Hinkle in third. Let's see if we can get a word with the driver who's made up some of the most spots out there, Harley Barletta. Harley, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, what's up, Doug?
Hey, man, you have been charging through this field. Can you continue marching your way forward?
We're going to hope so. I think we kind of stalled out there, so I think we might stay around 6th or 7th here. I'm not too sure. We don't have too much experience here, and I don't like short tracks, so.
That's probably the weirdest comment I've ever heard by a driver, that they don't like short tracks.
I don't like running them. Watching them is fine.
Well, you've made your way up into about 7th place, and it looks like you and Ian Ogden have charged through this field kind of together. Can you get around him before this is all said and done?
I think on the short run, yeah, he kind of had us on the long run there, but I think we burnt him up around 3 wide for however many laps.
It was some exciting racing, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully you can continue your march toward the front.
Thanks, man. Everybody say hi to Austin. Hi, Austin. Bye, Austin.
Hi, Austin. Bye, Austin. I'm not sure what that was about. Anyway, okay, so according to Topher, that was not a competition caution. There is no clue what has happened to bring the caution out. iRacing glitch. Just saw Kevin Reed has towed to pit road. His night may be done. No, I stand corrected. He is on his way off of pit road. William Mann Jr. is still on pit road. So, getting word there was no wrecks on track. Everybody was pointed the right direction. We're assuming that a ghost on track has crashed. Anybody know the number for Ghostbusters? They stack back up for the restart. AJ Godsey and Eric Stoy on the front row. Hinkle and Dan Tuma of the second row. Jared Heasley, Ian Ogden on the third row. Harley Barletta, Austin Habel of the fourth row. DJ, the Iceman Kenner, and Greg McDaniel rounding out the top 10. Possible answer to this, Kevin Reed briefly lost connection, and it may have caused iRacing to think it was a crash. Which is not the first time that has happened, so... Pace car is in. AJ controls the restart. Barney the flagman drops it. Green flag is in the air. And AJ is off like a bullet. Eric Stoy trying to hold on to second, but Dan Tuma and Hinkle looking on opposite sides of him. Oh, Dan Tuma, a couple of guys get the wall. Got a little exciting off turn 2, and here comes Greg McDaniel up the middle, 3 wide. Austin Habel loose, and we've got a car spinning. It was a 95 of Bill Percy. No caution, he clears the racing surface. Talked about it at the start of the race. Exit of turn 4 on cold tires. Always a bit sketchy. Great job by Bill trying to get it straightened out. Gets it down on the apron. Keeps going. Nicole saying it was Space Ghost and then put Jenny's number out. Yeah. Could be. And the number for Ghostbusters, Topher was kind enough to put in the chat if you need it. Just saying. AJ still in the lead. Eric Stoy in second. Jeff Hinkle in third. Jared Heasley in fourth now. Fifth place is Mark Dantuma. Harley Barletta up to sixth and continuing to march forward. Ian Ogden in seventh. Greg McDaniel eighth. DJ the Iceman Kenner now in ninth. Mark Nelson in 10th. Richie West back up into 11th. Gerald Poole in 12th. William Mann Jr. in 13th. Austin Habel in 14th. Aaron Mason in 15th. William Mann Sr. 16th. Bill Percy in 17th. Kevin Reed is showing 5 laps down in 18th. Jeff Hinkle and Jared Heasley going at it for third. Hinkle right now pulling ahead. Heasley down to the bottom. Heasley gets the nose ahead off of turn 2. They'll drag race down the back straightaway. And Heasley slides up into third. Jeff Hinkle staying right in his tire tracks for the moment. Mark Dantuma currently in 5th. Mark looking low on Jeff Hinkle now, and here comes Harley Barletta and Ian Ogden. Greg McDaniel starting to make his way forward again. He is now down under Ian. Oh, Greg is loose off of 4. He manages to save it, but loses a ton of track position. After the win last week, Greg was having a great run so far here tonight, but has now dropped back into 14th. Kevin Reed in the mix. Even though he is 5 laps down, you can see he definitely has the speed to get it done here at Iowa. AJ Godsey, Eric Stoy still have the lead. Not pulling the same gap, though, this time. Jared Heasley in third, starting to close in. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta looking low on Mark Dantuma. Ian Ogden is right there. DJ Kenner is right there. Will we see some crazy 3-wide battles mid-pack like last time here in just a few moments? Greg McDaniel back to 14th, trying to fight his way forward. He comes around the lap car of Kevin Reed. Meanwhile, Jared Heasley has closed in to Eric Stoy. Jeff Hinkle in 4th, losing a bit of ground. Meanwhile, Mark Dantuma in 5th, Harley Barletta in 6th, Ian Ogden in 7th are closing in on the front group. They bring DJ Kenner, and now Mark Nelson has broke into the top 10, currently in 9th place. Richie West now back into 10th, and here comes Gerald Thanos Poole in 11th, looking for a top 10. AJ continues to lead and starting to pull away. Just over half a second now on Eric and Jared Heasley. Hinkle was a little bit loose off turn 4. Looked like the right rear of that car might have just given the wall a little bit of a kiss there. Mark Dantuma holding on to a top 5 finish, or a top 5 run rather. Mark comes into tonight 3rd in points. The only driver in the top 5 who has not had a win yet this season. Heasley way low out of turn 2. Looked like he had to catch the car as he came off of turn 2. Meanwhile, AJ continues to hold a half-second gap. Eric Stoy has now got about 0.3 of a second on Heasley. And look at this. Jeff Hinkle has started closing back in on the top 3. And Ian Ogden now looking low on Harley Barletta off of turn 2. Can't get there yet, but he is searching. Just trying to get the nose in. Can't quite get there yet. DJ Kenner still there with him as well. Mark Nelson right behind. You know what we have not done tonight? Make sure you turn your speakers all the way up. I'll shut up for a few laps. Let's crank it up. Just under 40 laps to go here in Iowa. So far, AJ Godsey has dominated the race. Eric Stoy has managed to stay with him. Heasley now in third, but under attack again from Jeff Hinkle. This might have been an old school Hinkle kind of night. It looks like he was saving tires early in the run, comes alive later on. Mark Dantuma back in 5th. Has Harley Barletta in 6th. Harley managing to put a gap on Ian Ogden now. Ian in 7th. DJ Kenner now up to 8th. Richie West to 9th. And Mark Nelson to 10th. But Mark has Thanos looking underneath. Gerald Poole sends it down to the bottom through 1 and 2. And down the back straightaway. Through 3 and 4. Oh! Gerald pushes up a little bit. Mark Nelson goes up the track. Has the momentum advantage off turn 4. And puts a nose back ahead. Into 1 and 2. Gerald sending it way deeper that time. And now we got Nicole cheering on Topher. AJ Godsey, Eric Stoy still nose to tail. Hinkle has fallen back, or has gotten past Jared Heasley for 3rd. Heasley now coming under attack from Mark Dantuma, Harley Barletta as well. Harley Barletta so far the biggest mover of the night, up 10 spots. Bill Percy had gone to pit road. Looks like he is on his way back out, a couple laps down. Ian Ogden currently in 7th, DJ Kenner 8th, Richie West 9th, Mark Nelson in 10th. Mark still has Gerald Poole behind him, but now Greg McDaniel is back in the fight. Back behind, Austin Abel trying to get past the lap car of Kevin Reed. He has Aaron Mason looking on inside. Aaron really sends it up the track out of turn 4. Aaron Mason down to the bottom through 1 and 2. Just can't get there yet. That's the battle for 14th. AJ Godsey and Eric Stoy, still 0.3 of a second is the gap, but they have opened up a 1 1/4 second lead on Jeff Hinkle in 3rd. Yes, Nicole, just one glass, but how big of a glass was it? Exactly. Mark Dantuma in 4th, Jared Heasley in 5th. Oh, Mark gets a little wild off of turn 2. Heasley now back into 5th. Harley Barletta looking to the inside. He's got Ian Ogden right there as well. Ian now looks to the inside on Harley. Can't do anything with him. Ian back down to the inside. He gets fully alongside, but Harley has the run off of turn 4, closes the gap on Jared. AJ starting now to pull away from his teammate Eric Stoy, the gap 3/4 of a second. Jeff Hinkle in 3rd, Dan Tuma in 4th, Heasley in 5th. It has been a very quiet race. Let's see. Let's get a quick word with race control. Hey, Thoper, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doogie, what's up?
Hey, it's been a really quiet race, and normally short track racing at night, we see some tempers flare, but I only think there's been 1 or 2 incidents that would cause some tempers to flare. How are the drivers right now?
Quiet. Very, very quiet.
Almost too quiet?
Almost too quiet with, how many we've got? Oh, let's see. We've got 24 laps left. Yeah, I think it's probably going to get a little dicey here in the next 10 laps or so, but we'll see.
Well, good luck, Thoper. Now that we know how to properly pronounce your name, and I think Nicole said she might have had a mega pint.
Mega pint, right. I think Jar Jar's calling you.
All right, have fun and good luck once the tempers shoot up.
You too. Thanks, Doug.
It's nice having race control available to talk to. All the drivers quiet on track right now. No arguing, but look at this. Harley Barletta now has a... Oh, my goodness. What happened to Dan Tuma off that turn? Ian Ogden still looking underneath Harley. Harley did say that Ian seemed a little faster on the long run. And they still have Jared Heasley right in front of him. Jeff Hinkle not far ahead in 3rd. Mark Dantuma in 4th. Further back in 8th place, DJ Kenner has gotten by, but look at the mess behind him. Mark Nelson, Richie West, Greg McDaniel. All battling it out. Richie looking low under Mark Nelson now. Not far behind them, you see in the back is Gerald Poole. And look at this, Greg's going to try and go 3 wide here. He wisely backs out of it in the middle of 1 and 2. And folks, I am in trouble from the First Lady of BRR. Yeah. Yep. Oh! Greg gets loose off of 4. Manages to save it, but loses a ton of momentum. Richie West slides back into 10th place. Greg McDaniel just sending it all the way around the track. Off of turn 4. This time he looks like he's going to hold it and has the run up top on Richie. Greg McDaniel still fighting it out. Richie trying to hold on to that top 10 finish. AJ Gotzi, meanwhile, has extended his lead to 3/4 of a second over Eric Stoy. Jeff Hinkle in 3rd, Mark Dantuma in 4th. Heasley still holding on to 5th, but Ian Ogden has gotten past Harley Barletta for 6th. Now looking to the inside on Jared Heasley for a top 5. Harley Barletta now back to 7th. DJ Kenner in 8th. Mark Nelson in 9th. Greg McDaniel now in 10th. Another battle going on not far behind. William Mann Jr., Austin Hable, Aaron Mason. Those 3 cars going at it for 13th, 14th, and 15th. You can definitely tell tire wear is becoming an issue, especially off turn 4. These guys are not so much driving off the corner as they are 4-wheel drifting off the turn. Hey, Becky, great to see you. And congratulations to your daughter, by the way. AJ Gotzi starting to come into lap traffic. Kevin Reed currently in 18th place after connection issues. Eric Stoy has started to close back down on the leader. The gap is now half a second as they get 14 to go. Jeff Hinkle in 3rd, now has Mark Dantuma closing back in. Jared Heasley still holding on to 5th. Ian Ogden, Harley Barletta. Oh, Ian loose off 2. They continue to battle it out for 6th place. Harley drops down to the bottom. He gets the nose in as they go off into turn. Oh, Ian gets the bump. Really unsettles that car. Harley just slips by. Can Ian come back here? He already looks to the bottom in 3. And what a battle this has turned out to be between these two. It has been back and forth all night. AJ's lead now down to half a second as Eric Stoy tries to run him down. They've got a 2-second gap on Jeff Hinkle in 3rd and Mark Dantuma in 4th. Jared Heasley still has 5th and now a 1-second gap over this battle behind him between Harley Barletta and Ian Ogden. Hey, good evening, Larry. How you been, buddy? Harley holds on to 6th, Ian in 7th. And And what a battle these two have had. It looks like Harley might be pulling away just a little bit. 9 laps to go for AJ Godsey. But Eric Stoy now cuts it down to 0.4 of a second. Hinkle in third now as Dan Tuma jumping to the high side trying to make something happen. Jared Heasley in 5th place now has Harley Barletta closing in, but Harley has Ian looking to the inside. Caution! Could this be another glitch? I'm looking at one of the side-by-side battles that was going on at the time. Aaron Mason, oh no, this was not a glitch. Aaron thought he was clear, comes up the track, and yeet into the wall. Caution out with just a handful of laps to go. Will we see anybody stop here? Everybody's going to have to follow the same strategy that AJ does. Once one person gets tires, they're all going to have to get them. And here they come. Everybody's going to hit pit road. Top 3 all hit their pit stalls. And Harley Barletta is off pit road already. AJ Godsey comes out first. Harley comes out second. I think Harley took right sides only on that stop. Let's see if we can get a word with Jeff Hinkle, who's been up in that battle all night. Now back to 5th, though, after pit stops. Hey, Jeff, it's Doug. You got me?
I sure do, Doug. How you doing?
Hey, I am good, but man, you've had one heck of a run tonight. With 4 fresh tires, can you get past these guys?
I don't know. Boy, Eric and AJ are pretty fast, and then these looks like 2 guys, Greg and Harley, took 2 tires here, so they're going to mix it up with us. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Well, 5 laps, so we'll just send it, right?
Yeah, definitely just send it. I have to ask, how do you think the chances are for the guys that took 2 tires here this late in the race?
I think they're going to be okay with only 5 laps. I think they'll do all right here.
Well, man, you definitely know, and it looked like that second run, you were actually saving tires early, and it paid off late in the run.
Yep. Yeah, I think that that's my only chance here. I'm not that good at this track, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, good luck, man. You've had a great run so far tonight.
All right, thanks, Doug.
After pit stops, it looks like we have 2 drivers on 2 tires. Harley Barletta, right sides only. Greg McDaniel, right sides only. Everybody else took 4. It'll be interesting to see how the tire strategy plays out here. With so few laps left, it might work, but you still have to get by the guy who has dominated both this race and the truck race last night, AJ Godsey. And with 2 tires and him on 4, it's going to be tricky. So the restart will be AJ Gotzi and Harley Barletta on the front row. Eric Stoy and Greg McDaniel of the second row. Jeff Hinkle, Mark Dantuma on the third, Jared Heasley, Ian Ogden on the fourth, DJ Kenner, and Richie West rounding out the top 10. They stack back up for the restart. Looks like Harley actually has some damage on the left rear of the car. Pretty minor. Pace car about to drop in. Here he goes. AJ controls the restart. AJ fires. Green flag is in the air. Eric gets a run under Harley Barletta. Turn one will tell the tale of the two tires. Greg really sends it. Jeff Hinkle looks down to the bottom. AJ Gotzi out front, Eric Stoy to second, Harley Barletta in third, but Greg McDaniel has the no. Greg is loose off turn 4, down to the inside. Caution is out. And it looks like the caution did not come out. They had taken the white flag, and AJ Gotzi wins at Iowa. Eric Stoy comes home in second. Mark Dantuma pulls off a third. Here's an interesting note. Eric Stoy hit the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. What? That was definitely a dominant run by AJ Gotzi, but Eric Stoy tried to make something happen there at the end. And obviously Greg McDaniel on the last lap goes from 3rd to 16th. That is heartbreaking from last week's winner. Let's see if we can get a quick word with our top 3, starting with 3rd place, Mark Dantuma. Hey, Mark, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you. What's up?
Hey, man. Since switching to Chevy, you've been a lot faster.
Yeah, I think it's just, I think it's really the Force that did it today.
Well, it could very well have been. That was a wild last couple of laps for you, and you managed to drive through the chaos okay. Definitely an awesome run overall tonight, though.
Yeah, considering this is not my favorite track, I did pretty good. I do want to apologize to Harley, though. I got into him there at the end. It kind of ruined his race.
Well, you still come out with a 3rd place finish. I know Harley will appreciate that, but man, a great run tonight.
Thanks, Doug.
Mark Dantuma comes home 3rd. Let's see if we can get a word with Eric. Hey, Eric, it's Doug. You got me?
I'm here, Doug.
Hey, do you realize on the last lap you set the fastest lap of the race?
Oh, for real? No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I was just trying to hold on there.
And it looked like, man, before that last caution came out, it looked like you were reeling AJ in there for a bit.
Yeah, I was. I think he was trying to watch the race, so he kept goofing up. But I would take whatever happens. But I was trying every line the whole race, but trying to keep the car clean.
Well, you definitely did that. You come home with a 2nd place finish. Congratulations, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Doug.
And let's see if we can talk to our winner. AJ, you sweep the weekend at Iowa.
Yes, sir. It was a good run. Another clean race. Only one caution there, and a lot of green flag runs. Eric hung with me there a little bit. He got me nervous, but had just enough to hold on.
You know, I was just telling him he had the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. Had that gone a little bit longer, could you have kept him behind you?
It's hard saying. I think we were equal on speed. It was just a matter of who was out front. We practiced together and stuff, so it's no surprise that he was fast and keeping up with speed there.
It was definitely a wild night, but you know, you just went through. You never had a caution, or never got any damage, no problems all night. It was probably one of the smoothest races you've ever had.
You there, Doug? I lost you.
Oh, yep, I'm still here. You got me?
Got you now.
Oh, okay. It was probably one of the smoothest races you've ever had. No damage, never touched the wall, just kind of kept going and dominated.
Yeah, I just had that clean air and was able to just maintain and not have to push too hard, really. So, yeah, it was a nice, easy race. I mean, they're never easy, but I mean, about as easy as they come, I guess.
Well, your dad was cheering you on tonight. Anything you'd like to say to him?
No, he tunes in every week and watches, and I just like to do good and make him proud.
Well, you definitely did tonight, man. Sweeping the weekend at Iowa. Congratulations, AJ.
Thanks, Doug.
AJ Godsey wins both races at Iowa, sweeps the weekend, and dominates tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. Jones BS Racing is back. And Tuesday night, the XCal All-Star Race is going to be great. And Wednesday night, the Nowski Nation returns. You don't want to miss any racing. Make sure you're following us on all the social media. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great night.